In the 16th century, a man called Nyakango conquered a narrow strip of territory along the Nile. According to local history, he united the various groups living there into one people, and they became known as the Shilluk. Today, although their territory is part of the modern Sudan, the dynasty founded by Nyakango still rules from the royal capital, Boshoda. Protocol sets the royal capital apart from other villages. Nobody can keep chickens here. Women may not give birth. Visitors should take off their shoes and lay down their spears. And there's even a special court language for speaking with the Ret, or king. Every morning, people arrive in Boshoda to seek an audience with the Ret. Etiquette requires them to bring a gift, money or a cow, for example. They arrive early and must be prepared to wait under the watchful gaze of the Ret's bodyguard. This man, Ayangane Kur, will be the 33rd Ret. The previous Ret died 8 months ago, and Ayangane has been chosen by the senior chiefs to be his successor. But he has not yet been installed. The spirit of Nyakango must first take possession of him. Ayangane must become the embodiment of the founder of the Shilluk. Traditional Shilluk see the Ret as a person around whom their lives revolve. It's the divine presence of Nyakango in the Ret which is supposed to give them their purpose for living. And they still trace their roots by reference to the social order established by Nyakango. When a Ret dies, the country enters a period of instability and uncertainty. At the death of a king, the spirit of Nyakango disappears into the Nile, and the Shilluk say the world is lost. And the world is not fully regained for them until the spirit of Nyakango has come to shore in the person of the new Ret. Some months after the death of the previous king, the priests of this village in the north fetch Nyakango from the Nile. They then remake this image of him and also one of his tall warrior son, Dak. The priests will parade the effigies, made of bamboo and ostrich feathers, through the villages of the northern Shilluk, retracing the movements of Nyakango and Dak in their conquest of the north of the country. Finally, they'll reach the center. Nyakango capture the Reth elect, and install him as his representative. But the effigies and the priests cannot begin their journey until all the other preparations are ready. For example, ivory, silver, beads, spears and skins have to be collected for the Reth elect, each by the particular village made responsible for the task by Nyakangu. Tomorrow, these men in the southernmost district of the country will go to hunt the antelopes whose skins will adorn the king and other officials on the final day of his installation.
Kemual pau nam kesa abirionus.
The chief who has called the young men for the hunt has also arranged a dance. This island in the middle of the Nile is a sanctuary for the very rare Gyek antelopes. When Nyakangu stopped here on his journey of conquest, he thought them animals of the greatest beauty, and they've been reserved for royalty ever since. Shilluk commoners are forbidden to hunt them, except these particular villages, before the installation of a new reth. They did eventually succeed in spearing the required number of antelopes. And the chief of the area will take the skins to Poshoda, where they will be kept along with the other precious objects ready for the installation. The Reth-elect waits in the royal capital for the different villagers to fulfill their ritual obligations, meanwhile attending to their disputes. The installation starts when the effigies of Nikango and Dak begin their 10-day journey towards Poshoda. Dak, the tall warrior son, paves the way, while Nikang follows. Just as, according to Shilluk history, Dak led the military raids, while Nikango organized the people into one political unit. Wherever they pass, the people flock to pay homage to the founders of their nation. In every village, a shrine is prepared to receive them. While Nikang rests inside, Dak comes out to dance and cleanse those who ask for blessing. The people sing the praises of Nikang and Dak in songs which record their exploits. The journey is a time of spiritual renewal, part of the regeneration of the whole nation that is the essence of the installation. No one should stare at Dak or let him come too close to them. The priests with their hippo whips clear a path for him. installation of the new Reth will reaffirm the social order and the political identity of the Shilluk, a nation made up of competing localities. The people feel disorder threatens them until New Congo has possessed the king to be. So, men must not carry spears, only stalks from the maize fields. And then they are safe to boast of the military might of their own villages and to issue challenges to others. Every Shilluk is a soldier of New Congo, and all the villagers mount a guard of honor for the effigies as they escort them through their locality. Like the crusading soldiers in medieval Europe, the Shilluk saw an intimate connection between military prowess against outsiders and spiritual strength. Historically, they extended their territory by military raids against neighboring tribes. More recently, in the 19th century, they had to defend themselves against slave traders. Today there's peace, but the conflicts of the past have not been forgotten. The journey takes the form of a pilgrimage, retracing the movements of Nikanda. The priest must stop wherever he stopped, even if it's only to commemorate a tree under which he shaded himself from the heat of the day. Any pause creates an opportunity for the elders to challenge a rival village.
Aja tu me da joy. Tu ndo ko mai. Jau tu on ya ga tere chang. Wa chu ya diri ya ma gwara ma ta ya. Tapi kan ni brand ya, kalau ke kalau je na. Bukan kira kalau lagi je. Phone. Phone. Aja kan je lagi je na. Dah gara bakal dua kan. Kedua kan yang paling. Kena cengkon. Dah cana kah tu? Dah cana. Kau yang kena cengkon. Akon kena cengkon. Yang ni bangil, mana yang ni? Udah jauh banding kere. Uang mana? Uang mana? awaja dalle kid mana kan kaga rijo notin ko bonya doge kal bonya ge pa wa ako ke kama yang ta da ya la bikya ayanga bainde ko ga danu kiri ya ngi o ko de wa pe ma pa no ko ringa ya yo ko du ngo ko le ngan ki ko de wa ti u ka le yo ma pa do bonya ti ra ko wo ka du wa cha do ka do ya la bikya pa mo nya abanyen ba ke no dungu ya ban kalle ya ko kal boy te war tele nya ga yalla fi kelo la ba pa ke no nyuta no ya bu nya ki ya ba ka da kala pia kala pia wo te ba ka kal boy.
In the old days, the Reth led the Shilluk in war and was the final arbiter of their disputes. Today, his role as chief judge has been formalized by the Sudanese government into that of second-class magistrate. But perhaps his most important function was to serve as a focus of political loyalty and national identity, and that he continues to be today. Near the end of their 80-mile journey towards Busholda. One of the last villages they honor is the village where the late Reth is buried. His widows pay homage to Nikango by singing the funeral lament which praises their late husband. After a 10-day journey, the effigies of Nyakang and Dak approach the royal capital. They will halt at Adopt, a village 3 miles to the north of Busholda. Here they will prepare for their capture of the Reth-elect. On his part, the Reth-elect shows his fear of Nyakango by retreating under cover of night to Debala, a village 3 miles to the south of Busholda. At this stage, people from the north, by tradition, gather to support Nyakango, and people from the south to support the Reth-elect. After 3 days, the two will meet in a mock battle, which is the dramatic climax of the installation. Just before his flight to Debalo, Ayangane changed his Shilluk bodyguard for a bodyguard of government police. He decided that in the modern world, he needed more than spears to protect him. Traditionally, the Reth-elect's stay in Debalo is considered a time of particular danger to him. 3 families hold the kingship in turn. And the 33rd wreath can only come from Ayangane's own family. One of his brothers would automatically replace him should he be killed or even slightly wounded before his acceptance by Nyikang. There was a rumor that one of them was planning to kill him. It was also said that Ayangane wanted to look like a modern leader. On the wreath elect's first evening in Dabala, the chiefs of the southern Shilluk gathered to greet him formally. But things were beginning to go wrong, perhaps because people were afraid of the government police. They were not Shilluk, and were naturally enough unaware of Shilluk custom. After the greetings to the wreath, a man from a particular clan should spear the bull, but there was nobody from the clan present. Eventually, a Land Rover was sent to fetch the missing man, and the bull was killed. But things went from bad to worse. That night, the chiefs did not sleep in Dabalo as custom requires they should. It was alleged that the government police chased them away. Eventually, Kwanyureth Bol, the most knowledgeable of all the chiefs, and the master of ceremonies, arrived from Pushoda to sort things out.
Mana ko ya chingi chit ban
ya chinga ma
ya chin wi bona ko me ko bon ya chet bon abona
ya na ma tu
yi ba mu sul chet mana yi ko bon ya chet bon
ya ubi
mana ko ku je bon ko ba me wuri jaga ja bon chet
ya ubi ya ubi ya ko chaga ben da gin tu ma nyanga ja
ma wi ke bi jaga ja le yi ko ko mana wa ko je ya chet bon
gina ken jaga ja ta ko ya ko be ke no ben ma ko gen dong ja
giao trò để có cái những người như con tuôn trọt có cái nó có thì ra nó đã qua mà cãi ở cái cãi đi gini này sao con mà yêu thì cái phải chơi mà ra đường mà phải cãi để cô nó phải đi cãi đi cái gồ cái này Mana ko ya ko kalian ugalinga kalau ku ni ye
Cái này nhỉ phản quê đó cái cả chẳng. Uri nhỉ pa quê này.
Yaşar.
Cái này bé cái bên này.
Gel. Gel ya. Hamza.
Hamza.
تعالوا.
Đây.
Đúng.
Eventually, the chiefs managed to organize the necessary preparations, and on the fourth morning of his stay in Dabalo, the Reth-elect's supporters from the southern Shilluk began to congregate.
Ông bạn nó quên gì cái gì? Ông bạn. Hả?
Trong này nó cầm một cái kia lên chẳng.
Everything was ready for the Reth's departure, except for a few details of protocol which had to be settled by the senior chief. The Reth must step over a goat on leaving his temporary home, and the man whose duty it is to hold the goat seems hesitant. Perhaps he hasn't been given the right present. And on leaving Dabalo, the Reth-elect has to step over a bull. It's important that it's facing in the right direction.
أنا ما بسمح لك أخش. أنا ما بسمح واحد يخش. ما تكتب. أيوة ما تكشف أبدا.
Meanwhile, Nyakango and his supporters have left their temporary resting place 3 miles to the north of Poshoda and are marching towards the Reth-elect. Gradually, the gap between the two closes. The supporters of the Wrath-elect will halt at a dry riverbed believed to mark the very center of Shilluk country, just outside Pashauda. Its name means unity of the people. Nyikang's army is already drawn up on the other side. Chickens are considered troublesome creatures, and one is held up, perhaps to remind Ayang Kane of all the troublesome people he will have to tolerate. An advance party of Nyikang's army gives the Wrath-elect a cow to step over as he crosses the dry riverbed. Finally, a messenger runs back and forth between the Wrath-elect and Nyikang, carrying messages of scorn between the two. Nyikang taunts the Wrath-elect by saying that he's angry and will never permit him to enter Pashauda. The Wrath-elect replies that not even Nyikang can frighten him. When the ritual abuse is over, the mock battle can begin. The two armies edge closer to each other, and Nyikang and Dak begin their final advance towards the Wrath-elect. Dak captures the Wrath-elect and hands him over to Nyikang. At the same moment, the two armies begin to hurl their stalks of maize at each other. The battle is a ritual drama whose outcome is predetermined. It involves the whole population in a mock conflict which reinforces the theme of the ceremony, the unity of the Shilluk nation. Wraiths are honoured not primarily because of their own qualities, but because of the office they hold in direct line from Nyikang. The followers of Nyikang always defeat the followers of the Wraith. The office is more powerful than the man. Nyikang leads the Wraith off to his shrine in Pashauda. Here, screened from the gaze of the people, the Wraith will be possessed by Nyikang, whose spirit will enter into him. The effigy returns to the shrine. Water is poured over the new Wraith, perhaps in the hope that the rains will be plentiful during his rule. The spiritual climax over, the the political finale remains. The Reth spends 2 nights in these 4 houses. He is bathed and shaved, and then dressed up in the silver bracelets, ivory armbands, and antelope skins. On the final day, the chiefs and the senior elders gather beneath the mound. Each chief rises in turn to advise the Reth. This is the last time that they can speak their minds to him. The chief of Nagyar.
Anan tianga bi bero nyin anan ga jurung adu wura wur kenya donga bi ka wa ga ke ma dong ne yor ki moy do di ma nyara guot donga bi ka wa ka ben den ne ben ne ka wa nyi chang a ma wa nyi ka dok pin ba nen bi ka do mer yi ba ran mer ka pa nya kwa ka nyu do ka yang pa ka ba ran mer a kwa nya mer ching tar bu ngi na nywa le de ka lo yu cha ka mang la no kwai do cha ma men do Đức cái đồ hùi, quá kì. Đây à, dòng mà cái nút mà cái thứ thuộc mà như bên là mình, nè nó cái đó có kiện.
Chief of Nun.
Chắc là bia, đi vào nhà mình. Để mình đi đến đâu vậy? Cái gì quay đến lan. Để bây giờ begin. Bang ur, nè này, bang ur lan, nè này. Để bây giờ buổi nào buổi alo chỉ buổi cái này. Mà chúng cần, có gì thế? Ở trên in, cái này bang, alo như thế này bang thế. Mấy cái chuyện đấy, chắc cái nhang, ôi chú mà cái boy mi, nhang với một cái deal bên, lấy cái ấy cái mà cái đuôi mà phun, cho nên là cái đuôi này, cái phôi boy, à tao, ai ai cái này, đã nó cái nhang, như thôi, đã cái nào cũng
The last 2 to speak are the chief of the extreme north and the chief of the extreme south. In the old days, they were the protectors of the country's frontiers. The chief of Momo.
Marang. Kira jam tunggu. Lawa bigam tu.
Oh.
Tapi apa lagi? Dah gini mak kopi bukan? Gini ngan nyipiu. Gini penyawan-awan. Lu dia kanan. Lu dah benar ini kena tak. Begini mah doi. Meg bawat. Meg right. Dia lagi kobin. Begitu gina wana ni ngin. Ogo tu itu kanan. Ko ngat right. Ada ben buidan. Đi chia. Ô tô là đi. Uyo ko chấm đã quay. Cái mình mera con lên đây. Cái mình ngồi chết chết. Cô đi kia. Giờ đi cô đi chết. Chết cái bác. Cái.
The chief of Tonga.
Anan. Ina yang. Iro ni na wet. Dewet. Bale nyo le fen. De asyagit, ayi ke nyugo chet. Aba asyagit. Kaya ada logo benu ceng. Iba cakap kau bercak. Dia nene gua kena kau berkaji. Nene yang kena nyoli. Wala buahnya kau pergi. Buahnya buji. Mana lele cuan. Kau buahnya kucing. Aku orang buji tiga buah. Buah. Iba cakap kau buah. Buahnya kau menganyi. Rumah abang rumah kerja, rumah je. Rumah berdekat, angan ni cakap piawi, kekan kau kuai lau. Mai apa ni, angan ni tu bah kerja, kerja kau berjaya cuci. Iya, kerja dia kau ni ah, kerja bapa, anak iwan ni tin, iwan ni tin, iku je na, kekeluar kan, jangan kau mana. Ikut je. Dan, bukan malam. Dan itu tuam, jaga tuam. Tuam ni, lengi kemadukun, kai lengi madukun. Kapan kiri? Badia feri, ngalkuru.
Finally, the wreath rises to